To be or not to be, that is the question.
Eldon, what are you doing?
The people of Canada need a prime minister who is versatile. So I'm branching out.
Into acting?
Well, not just acting. I'm going to be a triple threat. I'm going to be singing, I'm going to do a little dancing, and of course, politics.
Don't forget that you're still the producer of our show and we're in Prince Edward Island.
Well, I am in the zone, okay? I am channeling Hamlet.
You sent us to PEI to do a show on Charlottetown, remember?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you just do that. But you know what? I'm busy learning how to use the method, okay? I have to work on channeling my inner child. And speaking of child, it's a funny thing you're in Prince Edward Island. Let me show you something. I think the part of the perky redhead Anne from Anne of Green Gables will be perfect for me, don't you think? Anne, played by yours truly, Eldon, with an E.
Well, Anne of Green Gables is probably the most famous character to come out of Prince Edward Island.
And to think that Lucy Maud Montgomery wrote Anne of Green Gables in 1908.
That's almost 100 years ago. And the book is still one of the most famous children's books of all time.
It's a book. I thought it was just a play and a TV show.
The book has been translated into 17 different languages, and almost 250,000 people travel to PEI every year just to visit the Green Gables Heritage Place, the actual setting of the book.
Now that is a role big enough for a prime minister. Now you two go and do whatever it is you have to do. I'm busy running lines. I was born to be a star.
That's good, Eldon, because you're already in outer space. Welcome to CG Kids, where Sid and I are taking you on a cross-Canada adventure to every capital city in the country.
And today we're in Charlottetown, the capital of Prince Edward Island, the smallest provincial capital and the birthplace of Confederation.
Today we're going to learn the fine art of oyster shucking from a two-time oyster shucking national grand champion.
Then it's over to PEI National Park of Canada for some windsurfing.
We'll show you that PEI is way more than just potatoes.
Up next on CG Kids.
Geographic Kids.
Welcome to beautiful Prince Edward Island. It sits in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, separated from Nova Scotia and New Brunswick by the Northumberland Strait.
Not only is it the Canadian province with the smallest population, it's also the smallest in terms of physical size. At 5,660 square kilometers, it's almost 10 times smaller than the next smallest province, Nova Scotia, and over 272 times smaller than the largest province, Quebec.
But don't let its size fool you. PEI has a long, fascinating history going all the way back to its first island inhabitants, the Mi'kmaq, who named it Ebegwik, meaning resting on the waves.
According to a Mi'kmaq creation story, Gisulk, the Great Spirit, had finished creating the universe. He had a small piece of red clay left over. He asked the whale to put it in the most beautiful place on Earth, the Gulf of St. Lawrence, of course, and PEI was created.
The famous red earth of PEI is made of 300-million-year-old sandstone and glacial till loam. It covers a majority of the island. When the French first settled here in what is now PEI, they named it Ile Saint-Jean and established a capital, Port-le-Joie, located near modern-day Charlottetown.
They made use of the island's rich soil by growing crops to French settlers in Nova Scotia. That is until 1758 when the British took over the island.
The British renamed it Prince Edward Island after future Queen Victoria's father and designated Charlottetown as the new capital.
Along with new names, the British also introduced a new crop.
The potato.
The first potato harvest took place in 1771. Now 30% of all of Canada's potatoes come from PEI.
When settlers first began planting potatoes, PEI was covered with dense forest. They had to clear the land.
The potatoes grew easily around the tree stumps, giving the settlers more time to clear the land.
Thanks to their efforts, agriculture today is PEI's largest industry.
No wonder PEI is nicknamed Spud Island.
But PEI is not only known for its potato harvest, there is also a lot of harvesting going on in the ocean.
PEI is one of the major harvesters and exporters of Irish moss in the world.
Basin Head, a small coastal lagoon ecosystem, has a very special strain of Irish moss.
So we're here at the Department of Fisheries and Oceans to find out more about it.
Oh, check out these solar panels.
Look at all this cool
I
stuff.
can't believe we're in the warehouse of the Department of Fisheries and Oceans.
Oh, this must be the lights they use on the buoys to protect the harbors and the bays and all the cool colors.
Hi, you guys must be Sid and Kat.
Yeah.
You're here today to talk about things that grow in the ocean. Great. Have you heard of Irish moss?
Yeah, Irish moss. What is that?
Well, Irish moss is a seaweed that grows, and it's used in a lot of food products, like a lot of dairy products. Ice cream, chocolate milk, even your toothpaste.
Wait, how do you use seaweed in your ice cream?
Well, it's pretty cool. Seaweed in Irish moss, there's this substance called carrageenan, and they use it to thicken things. So it emulsifies, it gels, it stabilizes products like your ice cream.
And we heard that there's a unique Irish moss to this area.
There is. In Basin Head, Prince Edward Island, which is the east end of the island, we have a special strain of Irish moss that's found nowhere else in the world, and in fact, we're trying to protect it in Basin Head. It's a coastal lagoon ecosystem, and it's just got all the right parameters to allow this species of moss to survive. The temperature's just right, the oxygen's just right, you just have just the right water flow coming in and off the coast. It's just a perfect little world for this moss to survive.
Wow, but have humans tried to replicate that?
They have tried to transplant it into other areas of Prince Edward Island, and that doesn't seem to do very well. For whatever reason, Basin Head seems to be the best place for this substance to survive.
So how can you farm it if you're not allowed to touch it?
Well, you're right. In Basin Head, you can't farm it because it's a special Irish moss. That area is protected. But Irish moss is found all around PEI. And in the western end of our province, like Mimminagash, for example, they farm it there.
So how do you farm seaweed?
Seaweed? Well, there's a couple of ways. Actually, in PEI, they've kind of invented the way to harvest Irish moss. You can do it using a boat and dragging behind it. And storm-tossed Irish moss, they will actually use horse and draggers to collect it all.
So they go along the shore and they just rake up all that extra Irish moss?
Exactly. It's pretty cool, yeah.
Well, all this talk about carrageenan and ice cream has made me hungry. I want ice cream.
Me too.
Well, go ahead. There's a great little spot just around the corner. Enjoy
Hey,
it.
well, thanks a lot for telling us about the Irish moss.
Thanks for coming. See you later.
Basin Head is also home to the famous Singing Sands.
They're sand dunes made of small quartz particles, compacted together, creating small air pockets. As the wind moves the particles, the air pockets produce a whistling or singing sound.
It's time for Triviography.
Today's question is, what is a midden? Here's a hint. It's not something to warm your hands.
This ice cream is cold. Can you pass me my mittens?
And it doesn't mean being stuck between two extremes.
Alden, this is where I draw the line. I am not gonna wear a tutu. Say something.
I'm not getting in the midden of this. So what does midden mean?
We'll tell you later in the show.
Just look how versatile I am. Angry. Sad. Dreamy. Hey! Oh, it's you two. Aren't you supposed to be making a television show?
We're just checking in to see what you want us to cover next. Producer?
Do I have to do everything? What are you going to do when I'm a big star and I don't have time for you anymore, huh? Please, you can stop. I'm all shiny. Oh, I cannot take this stress. I need a facial.
But what about the show?
Well, I'm sure you smart, lovely people will figure something out. Oh, stop taking pictures and get me a latte.
Today, Kat and I are in Charlottetown, the capital of PEI and the birthplace of Confederation.
This is Province House, National Historic Site of Canada, where one of Canada's most important historical events took place, the Charlottetown Conference on September 1st, 1864.
Now, the conference was held to discuss the Canadian Union, which was finalized in 1867.
And in 1873, PEI became Canada's 7th province.
PEI's agriculture has earned it nicknames like the Garden of the Gulf and Million Acre Farm. As well as potatoes and Irish moss, PEI is known for its oysters, and PEI oysters are known for their particular salty taste.
We're here at Raspberry Point Oyster Farm, and we're here to learn about oyster harvesting. This is James Power, General Manager of Raspberry Point Oyster Farms. Hi, James.
Hello.
Thanks for having us aboard. So, how does oyster farming work?
Well, on our oyster farm, we catch oyster seed, and from there, we plant it on our lease on our farm, and we let it grow until it's market size.
So, like little baby oysters?
Little baby oysters.
And then you plant them here?
Yes.
And they turn into big oysters?
Right.
How long does that take?
6 to 7 years.
Wow, that's a long time to wait.
This is our oyster measure that tells us the oyster's market size, so that's 3 inches.
And how many oysters do you guys catch in a day?
We can catch up to 6,000 in one day.
Wow.
6? That's a big meal.
So this is what catches the oysters?
Right.
How does this work?
This pumps water onto the bottom, and it puts the oysters up into suspension, and then it comes up on the escalator, and then we'll pick them up.
I'm going to call him Jimmy.
He's got you.
Okay, go back.
Crabby little fellow.
Go back in the water, Jimmy. Let go. Let go. Let go. Do this.
Well, you're trying to eat me. Be free.
So I found this pretty little starfish on it. Are they buddies, or what are they doing here?
Well, actually, the starfish and crabs are like people. They like to eat oysters too.
So this looks kind of wimpy. How does it pull open a shell? Because
Well-
I can't do it with my own hands.
Well, it'll wrap its tentacles around the oyster and just pry it open.
I tried to open this earlier, and there's just no way it's going to happen. Is there someone who can teach us how to open these things?
Well, for that, we probably should head back to shore.
All right.
All right.
Oysters have been farmed since ancient Roman times. Native Americans ate them 6,000 to 8,000 years ago, often smoking them over their campfires. With all that harvesting, I sure have worked up an appetite.
Table for 2? Right this way, please.
All right.
I'd like to introduce you to John Bill. Would you like a glass of milk? Chocolate.
Yes, please.
So, I understand you two are hungry for some oysters.
Ooh, yeah, I'm ready.
Well, we know how to catch them.
Catching them, that's half of it. Do you know how to open them? It's kind of messy. We're gonna have to go outside. No, that's not gonna get it open. You're gonna have to use one of these. It's an oyster knife. When you look at an oyster, you'll notice that one end of it is a little more pointed, and that's called the hinge. That's a good place to put your knife in because it kind of has a little hole there already. For me, because I've been doing this for a long time, I just hold the oyster with my bare hands. But for you, or for anybody who's not done it that much, put a cloth on top of the oyster, hold it down with the cloth.
And these knives are really sharp, eh? If you missed, that could cut you.
Yeah, that's why you definitely want to use a cloth or maybe wear an oven mitt or a glove.
Oh, okay.
You definitely do it with someone bigger than you, maybe like a grown-up.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to try this just on your own. You want to make sure there's a couple of people around to sort of
Hi,
give you.
Jimmy!
There you go. See the knife goes
Yay!
in. Once the knife is in like that, you push and twist, and the shells come apart. Once the shells are apart, then you can pry them open a little bit more, and it's attached still in that one spot on the top. So you just give it a little scrape right there. It was attached right there. Now you have to cut it off the bottom as well where it's attached. Just like that. Now your oyster's ready to go. Well, it looks like we're getting a little bit closer to your lunch.
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry, and this isn't really fast food. Is there like a shucking machine we can put these in to Get it quicker?
Well, I actually heard that you are a shucking champion. Like, you can do this super fast. Is that true?
In fact, I'm the Canadian oyster shucking champion.
Oh.
So I guess you could say I am the shucking machine.
Let's see you work.
All right.
It's like a fast forward. No way.
That's awesome.
There you go. We got half that.
Woo! Oysters on the half shell.
So,
right.
I mean, this wasn't an overnight thing, was it?
No, I've been doing it for about 15 years now. So I've shucked over 1 million oysters.
That's a whole lot of
Oh
Yeah.
my. Not a mark on your hands at all.
Lots of scars. Oh, I've cut myself a few times for sure. It is a dangerous thing, so make sure that if you are, going to do it, that there's somebody else around that can give you a bit of a hand, and you're wearing a little towel or cloth or something like that, and that makes a big difference. If you want to try, that's to shuck some oysters, go the way we were talking about before, and
Right.
if you want a whole bunch all at once, you
Call
call
you
a guy
up.
like me. That's right.
Well, thanks so much. This looks amazing, and
Great.
I think we might have to sample some of your
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Ah, this is the life. A little relaxation after all that hard work.
Hey, what's up, Eldon?
I'm checking to make sure you two are busy at work and you're not. What do you think this is, a vacation?
We're here in PEI waiting for our windsurfing lesson.
Surfing? Now that takes me back to some great films. Surfing, surfing, PEI. Surfing, surfing, PEI. Surfing, ow! Ow! I need a stunt double.
So, are we really going windsurfing?
Yeah, we're just waiting for our instructor. And there he is! Hey! Woo!
Hey, Matt, how you doing, bud?
Good, how are you? You must be Sid?
Yeah,
And you must be Kat?
you look awesome out there.
Oh, thank you.
So, I feel like I'm in Hawaii, not PEI. What's going on?
Well, PEI is a great place to windsurf, nation's best kept secret.
So what makes PEI a good place to windsurf?
Well, we have the warmest water north of the Carolinas, as the folklore says.
Whoa!
And we also have plenty of different beautiful bays and harbors and lots of nice white sandy beaches. And that's what you need with windsurfing is different places to go for onshore breezes.
Excellent.
And what's the trick to windsurfing?
What's the trick to windsurfing? Well, it takes a little bit of falling down, it takes a little bit of practice, but with new technology and advances in windsurfing equipment, it's so much easier to learn windsurfing today than it was even 5 years ago.
So we could actually learn today?
Oh, you could do it today, for sure. CGK. First of all, take a look at this board. This is the new beginner boards that has revolutionized windsurfing for beginners, and like I say, we'll get you guys going right away. Okay, so first step, guys, you want to bring your board in, okay? You want to get your hands on the board, okay, evenly spaced on the mast. You want to get your knees up, your feet up. You want to uphaul the sail, hand over hand, okay? When you get the sail up, you want to grab the boom on both sides of the mast, and you want to lean the sail forward and sheet in, okay? You get going, then you lean the sail back, and you're constantly manipulating the sail to adjust your direction as you get out in the water. Okay, you guys ready for a little demonstration? All right, here we go. Knees up, feet up, uphaul the cord, hand over hand, okay? 2 hands on the boom, front hand crossover, grab here, lean forward, and you're gone.
Bet you I can get up on my first try.
All right, way to go! Yoo-hoo! Okay, Matt, I gotta be able to do it on the first try. Kat did it.
Got to. Here we go. Merry times.
Hands, knees, feet. Oh, yeah. Whoa! Try number one.
CGK. Today was an excellent beginner day.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matt, it was rocking, man. First time in the water and I loved it.
Thank you very much. Keep
All right.
having fun and
Bye.
merry times in the Maritimes.
Wind is a powerful force. The European Wind Energy Association estimates that wind could supply 17% of the world's electricity needs by the year 2025.
It's time to answer today's triviography question.
Today's question is, what is a midden?
A midden is a term used in archaeology. It means a mound or deposit that contains shells, animal bones, and other refuse that indicate the site of a human settlement.
PEI is home to midden sites that indicate humans have been here for at least 10,000 years. CG Kids is on the World Wide Web. Visit us and find out even more about our incredible country.
Just click on our website to find games, contests, and way more about our show.
You can even try the CG Kids Atlas online.
Check it out.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, that is beautiful.
Hey, Eldon, we've got something for you.
Oh, well, it better be a Gemini Award.
Even better, we're at Green Gables Heritage Site in PEI National Park of Canada. Lucy Maud Montgomery used this house as inspiration for her Anne of Green Gables books.
I still can't believe it's a book. I'm really not much of a reader.
Anne of Green Gables is how children all over the world are first introduced to Canada. And speaking of introductions, we have Jennifer Toolman here with us. She plays Anne in Anne of Green Gables the musical.
Hi, Eldon.
Oh, that's more like it up here. Finally, I get to interact with a professional of my own caliber. So, how long has this show been going on?
It's the longest running musical in Canada. It's been on stage since 1965.
Oh, you poor dear. You must be exhausted, you know? You should retire. Yeah. I'm considering taking over that role.
I really love my role, Eldon. I'm not sure I'd like to retire quite yet.
Listen, you got to get out while you're hot, okay? That's what you gotta do. You know, maybe you can sing and maybe you can dance, maybe you can act a little, but can you do politics, huh? Because I can. I'm a triple threat. Actually, I'm a quadruple threat. Hey, you and me, we should go for lunch and talk.